G'day, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming at you again with another wonderful Monday night or Tuesday afternoon or wherever you are. Today is the 4th or 5th, I'm reliably told, which it's a day. It might even be the I'm so far behind. And as you can see, today, instead of the usual, me being in an elevator and calling someone on the other side of the world, we came straight to the source. We came straight to the source because we're obviously here and we're talking about cities, and the two of us, for those who don't know, please say hello to Darren, our nemesis in the chat.
Hi everybody.
And yeah, we're here because the two of us have been geeking out over Cities of Sigmar, very excited about it.
Definitely.
So we thought we may as well, now other people have done very in-depth deep dives and they are great at it. Yes, but we're just more excited about the bullshit that we found and the fun stuff. So we're having a chat about that. Now we did just realise before we started that I am currently dressed in a jumper, shirt, and a beanie because every part of me is cold.
And I've just got a nice Hawaiian shirt on. And I could be wearing shorts, but
yeah, right.
I thought I'd be decent in my own house.
Well,
I got a guest over.
During summer, I have towel shorts that I wear, so they're like slightly warmer than regular shorts, and then they're as stylish as you want them to be as well. But yeah, so in the chat, Lugnut's very excited about the cities, which we not quite so much.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's there. I mean, cities need something to kill. But yeah, obviously, Lugnut's very excited about the orcs, and we may in the future talk about orcs with obviously someone.
Yeah, it won't be me.
No, not someone who's as high and
I actually don't own a single destruction army.
Oh, and
you've seen my collection.
And it's not a collection. It's a floor. It's an entire floor. All right. So yeah, sorry about that, Lugnuts. But obviously, I'll have to get a pro on to talk about greenskins. Somebody who loudly and aggressively is in support of them. Sir Grail in the chat. Always good to see a cornate crusader. And someone who didn't just take Gore Pilgrims and. Three.
Yeah. I actually got to play Sir Grail at Attack.
Oh, really?
That was my first round. It was an amazing game.
Yeah.
Super close. It was really, really good.
I do have a question. He named all of the characters in the list, which is I love it. I love seeing that. So he named all the characters in the list. Did he call them by name during the game, or was he like, "That's my Lord of Khorne Juggernaut," or was he like, "Sir Grail is charging"?
I believe he used the names. I can't remember because I was so distracted by the giant 30-man blob of Blood Warriors coming right at me.
Yeah, 60 inch. Right? You were just like, good, this is great.
And they're buffed to hell, so it's just
yeah. It's like, at least when you see that coming from Stormcast, you're like, I kind of know what's happening. Yeah. But when it's blood, you're like, when it's and they're like, oh, I'm getting blood type points. Like, they might not even be there when I want to hit them back.
Yeah, exactly.
So Grail, Vanilla Sass in there, Sneaky Stabs, Tuesday Arvo. Oh yeah, of course. I'm assuming Australia or New Zealand over there. Gnome's Bane. It's a beanie because my head is cold. Every part of me is cold. Sneaky Stabber is a bit more excited about Walklands, which is all right. That's fine. Whippy Sticks in the chat. Lugnut's still aggressively loud as always. Cool Bunny, g'day. In fact, chiming in from not too far away. Princess Wigglebottom knows the house, probably recognises it from maybe times being very, very drunk. Oh gosh, and I'm sorry if I missed anyone. I'm terrible. I'm a horrible person. But I guess as we start every episode with send nudes, we were talking about this before because don't quite know how to do this chat because Darren's going to be able to see the nude.
Yeah. So
we'll both score it, I guess.
Sure.
But maybe we should describe it.
Yeah. Maybe let the chat give a rating to it before they see it.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Be in my place.
So yeah, right. So we're going to reverse the nude. The way the nude is going to work this time is we'll describe it, you'll score it, and then I guess we'll reveal it and score it and do whatnot.
What rating system?
Oh God, yeah, that's tough. Well, you're the guest. You get to decide on the rating system.
Cities.
Cities? Okay, number of cities?
Out of 7. 7 cities?
Okay, it's out of seven cities, yeah. Well, I assume he maybe had more at some point. They all burnt down.
Well, there's only 7 right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, I built this new city. What do you call it? City floating city, and then it's gone. Okay, so what we are going to do is we're going to describe this nude to you, and that's how we're going to do it. Now, I'm just going to pull it up for the two of us, and I will say, one of possibly the most detailed nudes that I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Like the level is very, very high. I'm trying to pull it up now so that we can describe it to you. And I have to say, I feel like this is maybe took the artist a little bit work to do. That took a little while. Worth it though.
Yeah, 100%.
Worth it though. So we'll have a cheeky little look and we'll describe it. Now it's basically, in short, a steam tank and a dryad, and it's titled A Brief History of Greywater Fastness. Now, do you want to describe to everyone what you're seeing here?
Well, there's a large mechanical beast that is rearing down a helpless little tree.
Spoken like a Sylvaneth player. Gotta say, it is a very well drawn mechanical beast.
Very well done, and it's nicely detailed too.
It's detailed. It appears to be like anatomically correct for
Yep,
a steam
yep.
tank. You know, like we're seeing even to the extent of the detailed
And the ruins too.
And there's the leaves and everything like
Yeah.
that. And the dryad is giving me what I would come to expect from Sylvaneth, which is just a really confused and non-competitive like look on its face, because as I would imagine them always being on fire. And the tank has a name. It is Tanky McTankface.
I actually didn't see that before. That's really good.
So Tanky McTankface down in there, and there is an engineer out the top screaming "sod off" at the very surprised dryad, which is just saying "re" backwards
With a question mark.
Yeah, and I have to say it's a very phallic steam tank
Yeah.
as well. Like there's a lot of large and what appear to be veiny cannons on it.
He's compensating, it seems like.
Yeah, it's definitely it's threatening. I would find it very threatening. Now, out of 7 or any other details.
Well, you said it was hand drawn too, right?
Well, yes.
You think so? Or
hand drawn, or like I'm thinking this may be.
Oh, actually, yeah.
An insane.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's even.
Microsoft Paint painting. Like I'm seeing these lines are too straight for hand drawn.
Yeah,
you know, well, I guess it is technically drawn by hand. It's just drawn by mouse.
Yeah, no, but that's actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's hand drawn.
It's hand drawn.
I'd say, well, like as in, sorry, paint drawn.
Paint drawn. But
paint drawn by hand.
Yeah.
Paint drawn by hand.
That is actually way better than, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
that's like, and there's rifling on the barrels,
Okay.
there's rivets. It's not bad. So chat, we'll throw to you. Sorry, we ignored the chat for a little while there. People are like, what's going on? So we got Gnome's Bane 7 out of 7 just because it's a steam tank. Good. Dad Hammer's in the chat, just dropping in. We're in the middle of send nudes. Sir Grail says wasn't going to give it points, but Tanky McTankface gets it to a 3. Princess Wigglebottom just going right out of the score system, giving it a 9 out of 7, which is good. Dad Hammer saying 5 out of 7 because there's not enough allegiances. Not enough endless spells, rather. Bugnuts just doesn't like it at all, which is fair. Demcast giving it 5 eggplants. Demcast, g'day, good to see you in the chat. But we'll now reveal it. And the other thing I will say as well is the bloke who drew this, I know from back in Australia, does some of the most amazing. It does some of the most amazing like converted armies you've ever seen. It is absolutely something spectacular. So I'll get photos of those as well, and I'll link it to Twitter because it's like some next level ridiculous stuff. And so for everyone who's been patiently waiting, this is what the nude looks like. This is what we're looking at. So let's see if we feel, is it worth more? Is it worth less? I personally am kind of losing my mind at the level of detail on the tank. It's
Well, I thought it was hand drawn at first, and so I was really impressed by it. But now that I know it's like done with Microsoft Paint, and it looks hand drawn, that's even better. I'm going 8 out of 7 cities.
8 out of 7, They need to found a new city.
Oh yeah, no, they found a new city on this one. Yeah.
Yep, good. Princess Wigglebottom says it's still a 9.
Greywater 2.
Greywater, that's the city that's stolen my heart. So So he's gonna cut his hair with the steam gun. Just get it right back off there. Gnomesbane gives it an 8 out of 7 for the which is good. But I do like I remember reading a bunch of when they did the Malign Portent stuff and they released all the stories. There was that one where a cog fought like what's her nuggets, Sylvaneth Godwoman, whatever her name is.
Ilariel?
Ilariel, yeah. She's like attacking a cog fort, and their move is to like grow vines into it so then they can walk out of the vines. I was like, that's really cool. That's really tactical. But Greywater fastness is still there, so clearly the Sylvaneth keep getting fucked on.
I actually missed that story.
Yeah,
I gotta go back
it's
and read
not a
that.
bad one. But speaking of Sylvaneth, you're actually a Sylvaneth player.
Well, not really like Sylvaneth, but like,
no, like in part. But
Yeah.
I was gonna.
I have a Sylvaneth army in shrink wrap.
Yeah, you've got your wood curious.
Yes,
you know?
yes, exactly.
That's it. Yeah. We actually have an amazing Dirthy here. I was going to grab a photo of it, but it's right here. We can probably here. I'll pull it up on a bigger one, and we'll have a cheeky little look-ski there. It's gorgeous, and the thing that I like is it's got this epic sword. Now, funnily enough, that's a bit of an artifact now, isn't it?
It is. Now, okay, so I built this Dirthu like way back when it was still a wood elf.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And I modeled it after White Dwarf used to have those really like tiny issues where they released it like every week.
Oh yeah.
So they had a wood elf.
I hated that period as well.
Well, I still bought every one of them.
Yeah, I know. Me too. That's the reason I hated it. I was like, I'd read it and I'd be like, this was effectively a marketing magazine.
It was, yeah.
That I paid you.
And it made me happy though to go in the store to buy it though, because I got to buy something, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and I still every week I'd be like, not doing this again. Not doing this again. Next week.
Oh yeah. So I have like a stack of. Anyways, so they had an article in there on how to do this and how to convert it, and I was going to use it originally as a Tree Lord Ancient. I didn't think of anything else of it, right?
Yeah.
It sat on my shelf on a square base until it was awesome. Like when it came out.
I grudgingly have to agree. Yeah, I don't want to, but like I'll grudgingly be like, it's pretty good.
And the cool thing too, it's actually magnetized.
Oh, cunning. Oh.
So I can change the weapon load.
And
I can make it
also
into like a
so
tree
that when
lord.
you're trying to transport it,
it
doesn't break into
Yeah, although these little branches are going to snap off there.
In 100%, yeah. I had to tell you, they're gone. You may as well cut them off now. Okay, so obviously then you're leaning towards playing Hammerhall.
Yes. Yes. Hammerhall was my first choice. Like, hands down.
Definitely.
I had no other options available. You know,
Yeah.
it was what made me buy the Cities book. No.
Living City.
Living City.
And you already played a tournament with them.
I did. Yeah,
Yes.
yesterday.
So so
Lugnuts was there too, actually.
Lugnuts, with his tidal wave of orcs.
Oh, it was amazing.
I
think he had like 150 of them.
Holy crap. Lugnuts, you're in the chat. Please confirm the exact number of orcs that you had on the table for us all. So you've been leaning in towards the Living City side of things for the mobility and everything like that. And what type of a list are you playing with?
I have a very mixed one. So before Living Cities, I was actually playing with my Stormcast. And I had a nice little shoot cast list, and I was looking at it, and I'm like, oh, I want to do like a shooty old style wood elf list, right? That was the whole plan behind when the Living Cities came out. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, I can ally in some Sylvaneth, but I had a really good shooting Stormcast list too. So I'm like,
oh, well, we can put these two together, making friends, yeah.
Because
I mean, like, if you can't ride the lightning down with your longbows, you may as well turn up 6 inches from a board edge.
And I was playing in a tournament, so they were painted, which is good.
Yeah, okay, they're done. You're just like...
that saved it. And I basically took the two aspects of my Stormcast list, which would be Evocators and Long Strides. And I combined it into a Living City list with a Dirthu with the Spear of the Hunt, which is actually an amazing item.
It's not only an amazing item...
and it's modeled.
Already modeled on, yeah. You're just like, hey, I got this one. So for those who... And we'll have a quick chat about it in a second. But the reason the Spear of the Hunt is so good is...
always strikes first fights first in the combat phase.
Yeah, that's more layers to the activation wars, which I'm super excited about talking about. Just but does the start of the combat phase beat always fights first in the combat phase, or there'll be some fun FAQs in there?
I think start of the combat phase will trump always fights first because it's not at the start. But if it goes up against Slaanesh where they get Locust or whatever,
and then
it'll just cancel each other out.
Yeah,
so.
they'll just be like 2 beers thrown at each other.
Exactly.
And they'll just both explode. You found them to be awesome, I take it?
Yeah, so the list I took was, I threw together what I could, right? So
I saw Sir Grail in the chat there was not stoked about that shootcast list of yours.
Oh yeah.
I think somewhere in there, I don't know where it was, but yeah, he said, oh yeah, damn that Stormcast list.
Yeah, that's the one I played against Sir Grail.
Yep, and Lugnut's confirming he had 140 Savage Orcs.
140, okay, sorry.
So 280 wounds of Savage Orcs, which is all right. Gnome's Bane's keen for Anvil Guard. Dadhammer, who has been a Tempest, a Privateers player for ages, keen on Tempest Sai, which will be, it'll be kind of cool to see. But yeah, anyway, sorry, your list. What you're packing,
so,
obviously.
Living City, of course, right? And I started with a Nomad Prince.
Well, you need that. You need it.
Yeah,
right?
well, I also really like the Nomad Prince. So just the model itself, it's
model,
really cool. And he's got this really cool debuff now, which gives, if I hit a spellcaster with it, it's -1 to cast, -1 to dispel, and then -1 to hit.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's good all around for good utility. It's
Well, think about how many of those big monsters now might be a shit wizard as well.
Oh, yeah, exactly, right?
Abhorrent Ghoul King on Terrorgeist.
Yeah.
There we go.
Exactly.
You're just like, oh, this guy on his little fucking winner mount thing, what's his Lord Arcanum dick? Anyway, there's so many of them. And they're like, it's like, now who sucks to be a wizard? Really, really useful little debuff there.
And there's like, I noticed there's a lot of minus to hit in this army as well. So like I had I gave him the Druid, whatever it's called. Let's grab the book in front of me here. Druid of the Everspring battle trait.
Yeah.
Which allows him to take 1 spell because he's not a wizard.
Yeah.
Right? So, which I gave him the Cage of Thorns.
So that you can shut down people's movement as well.
So I can make it half the movement and another -1 to hit. So if it's something I really don't want hitting well.
And D6 wounds, mortal wounds if
exactly
they
when they move. Yep.
Right. Good.
I don't actually get that off too much, but you know. And then my other hero was actually a sorceress who was the all-star of my army.
Oh yeah, you were saying you had just the standard sorceress who went through like half of. Like it sounded like a ton of an army.
She basically soloed 10 witch elves. And she's basically naked. You know, she has nothing. She has a spell, and that's it.
She's from that era where it was just like women's armor is a bra and thong, and that's about it.
What I mean too is like I didn't give her any items. She has her one spell, and that's it. Right?
Also, she's like, I'm here to dispel.
That's all. She's just there to cast my spells, and that was kind of it. And mainly because I took an endless spell as well, and I wanted to make sure that I got the what's it called? Empowered. Yeah. So I took her naked. I got charged by some witch elves into my Wildwood Rangers who happened to get her just within 3 inches. And so like she didn't get in the main combat. My Wildwood Rangers got wiped out completely. And then so
the combat unit was just
it was just gone. They didn't even get to fight back. It was like every single one was gone.
Like, take a look.
And like I had my sorceress next to my Nomad Prince. Nomad Prince got picked off by Marathi. So I'm just like, oh man,
it's down to you,
she's done. So I'm like,
the fairy tale's over.
My opponent, Dale, nice guy. He's like, oh, do you want to fight with her? I'm like, why not? Throw her into combat there. 1 attack, hits on 4s, wounds on 3s. So I hit and I wound, and D3 damage. I do 3 damage right away. Kill 3 witch elves.
Just like spellcasters.
And they were unbuffed, so like. There was no armor saves really with it. So it's actually -1 Ren too. So it's like stupid.
I find it ridiculous how many wizards are like that. They've got like 1 attack that's like 3s and 3s, Ren 1, damage D3.
Yeah.
Every wizard has the same staff and is equally good with it. Yeah. It's ridiculous. It should be like a pointy stick that does 1 damage if you're lucky. But
so anyway, she took out 3 witch elves there, and then in the preceding combat, he picked something else to fight first. So then I fought first with her again, killed 3 more. Then they battle shocked,
and so she ran them off.
So she wiped out the unit. Now a unit of harpies is coming off the side, just 5 of them, and they try to get in range. They failed their charge initially.
Yep.
So then she's still sitting there because she had to hold the objective. It was a relocation orb on this one.
She was basically like,
so
this is mine.
So then I was like, good. This is like 20 models here, so I'm good. I'm happy, right? So the harpies come in. They actually make the charge next time. I actually got a spell off first, right? I took out D3 models. Took out 3.
Just every time she was called on to do something,
just her base spell, whatever that is, right?
Yeah,
anyway, so she took out 3 of them. They charged in 2 more. She took out those 2 in combat.
Yeah, that's fine. She was just standing there what was the movie? The One with Jet Li? I don't know. It's a terrible action movie, but the end of it, it's just him standing on top of a pyramid fighting all of these prisoners. That's effectively what she was doing. Just being like, this is my house.
That was exactly what it was. My opponent never fought first against her because she's just a wizard, and I had a unit of evocators in combat with Marathi. So she's.
Of course, they're
dumb
to
not fight with Marathi first, right?
And then the evocators get shit on.
Whatever.
This one sorceress.
Yeah. And actually, thinking back on it, I forgot a rule in the game that actually would have kept her alive for the one more round.
Well, she's effectively Bayonetta.
For
those who know the Bayonetta series, she needs to be painted up because she's probably got guns.
Oh, she's fully painted. Actually, I used a Spellweaver model as my sorceress because it fit in with the Living City. And you actually can't ally in Wanderers anymore into the Living Cities.
Oh.
Because they cannot ally with Cities of Sigmar because they're no longer existent.
They don't exist then. Yep. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. I heard it here first. But they're gone now. I didn't know that.
They are gone.
Well,
you can use them as Wanderers, right? But you cannot ally them into the army.
They're separate. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm leaning the exact opposite. In fact, I'm Grey Water Fastness. So, but I did like the Living City back when I used to use them with like an entirely dispossessed army in a Living Cities list with a Tree Lord Ancient to summon trees.
Oh, nice.
Because you used to be able to summon through trees. But yeah, it's kind of cool to see where they're going as well with it. Like I love the spells. There's just so much cool shit that they've got. I'm leaning towards Grey Water Fastness because I want for like a Cog Fort themed army. So they're all coming out of Grey Water. I mean, just about anyone who's read it probably knows that Hallow Heart is arguably the most competitive.
I don't know. I think they're kind of trash. They don't really do anything.
No, they're hot garbage. I do think though that they're an army that I don't like armies that rely on magic because I've even seen Nagash lists where Nagash fails to cast anything.
But remember the story I just told about my sorceress.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Army of those.
What chance do we have? Yeah, no, okay.
They'll never cast any spells. They'll just go right into combat.
Yeah, and just fuck you up. One Empire Bright Wizard at a time. But yeah, I'm excited. I assume, just looking at the amount of people talking about it, the thing I really like about it, my first read of the book, is that while some cities are stronger than others, I didn't feel like any are insanely overpowered.
No. And even though the Hallow Heart, or that's what they call Hallow Heart, right?
Hallow Heart, yeah.
Okay. They look like they were going to spike it up, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think that it's actually going to be that big of a deal. They're still wizards, and all you got to do is get them into combat.
Well, yeah. Yep.
It's kind of like
and how a lot of armies have access to an auto dispel now as well. Even if it's just once, you can pick that one spell they really need and be like, nope. And Tzeentch armies arguably have a lot of spells, but most of theirs are about dealing damage. So I'm not as concerned. I just think the one thing I do worry about with Hallow Heart is ultra long hero phases. That being which spell do I want to cast?
But you know what? Every other phase is going to be nothing, right?
Yeah,
so it's going to be you're spending all your time in the hero phase, and it's going to be okay, movement done, shooting done.
Sweet. Yeah.
Combat. No combat. Okay, good. Let's go.
Yeah. Or I'm in combat.
Or I'm dead.
I take my toys off the board.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the other one that I'm keen to find out, see how they play as well, is Tempest's Eye. Because looking at them, I was like, they're cool. They will have a lot of really cool synergies, but just off the bat, I don't see them as being the tippity top.
Yeah.
Or Hammerhall as well. I was like, yeah.
Well, those two are actually the next two I'm thinking of giving a go for myself anyways. I do have some KO models.
Yeah.
Which I really want to paint and use them. Yeah. So I bought them when they first came out, built 2 of them, and then I never got to play the game. And
I had a very similar process with them. I sold my whole army.
So they're just sitting. I sold off a bunch of them too. I think Alex bought a bunch of them off me actually when he was playing KO.
Yeah.
So I got whatever's left over, but I can still have an Ironclad. And I really want to run an Ironclad in the Tempest Eye.
Yeah, Ironclad and Tempest Eye.
Yeah.
I'd be keen to put it in Greywater Fastness as well because it's a war
You could,
machine.
but then it gets allied in,
an
right?
ally.
So,
Yeah, no,
but in
that's
this, like, you know, at least in this one, it's not an ally, and it gets
so
all the
it gets
bonuses.
all the buffs,
so,
and you can actually be doing stuff to it. Yeah, I'm keen to see it. I'm kind of keen to see Hammerhall. I have one gripe with this book.
What's that?
One whole gripe with the whole book, and that's that I wish that there had been a city from each realm. Yes. Like, I think for me, the one thing that I was like, oh, and I get why, but surely somewhere in Shaiish, there's a free city built around like a...
Don't you think that they might actually come up with a second cities book?
Yeah, I know.
With different cities in it?
I know,
from different realms?
Look at how long we had to wait for this.
I know.
Look at how long.
But this will tie us over until something else comes out, right?
I guess the thing is, like, it's like 3 of them are from the realm of life. 3 of them are from the realm of fire or something like that, and then there's 1 from somewhere else. I don't know.
I thought they're all from life and fire.
Yeah, there wasn't even one in Beast, was there? Anyway,
no.
Point is, like, we've got all these really cool realms, and all the cities are really, really cool and unique, but they're all from the same realms. I'm like, that's kind of... It'd be cool if there was one from Shaiish that was kind of themed towards that, and just a few different things there.
I did really like how they restrict the malign sorcery artifacts to that in this art. Like, you still got good stuff. Like,
yeah, but also
I can run dirt through with the gear strike if I want to.
Yeah,
because
that's why Living City for Silver.
it's like,
I guess it's still giving gear strike. But I think it's not too restrictive, but it's just restrictive enough. Also, it would be really dumb if you were like, this is my Living City army with an ethereal amulet because they holidayed in Shaiish and just picked it up while they were there and brought it home, and Ilariel was like, yeah, you keep that chunk of death magic around. So I like it. I think it's cool, but I just wish there was a little bit more variety. But realistically, if that's my one gripe with the whole book, that has 7 different allegiance abilities and everything like that, no, I'm not too disappointed.
The only thing I can find is that there's so much in there that I can't, like, it's hard to process all the units that are in there and try to find what you want to do with it.
Overwhelming, right? Because you're like...
I know Cool Bunny, she wants to do an Anvil Guard list.
Yeah.
Dark Elf themed, basically, right? So... but you know, a Hydra Battle Line, which is gonna be really cool.
Yeah, but the amount of options there, right?
Exactly.
You're like, where the fuck do I go?
Well, but the cool thing though is that, like, I could have my Living City army, and she could have her Anvil Guard army, and they'll be completely different models, and like even though we're using the same book,
rules.
That's like that's awesome. Hey, for me, like again, you've seen my collection. And
collection is a very strong word for it.
This book is for me because I can just take stuff off the shelf. Oh, let's put this on there.
Yeah, exactly. I think for more than anything, it's a book for me that's made me suddenly go, like, all those models that I thought were cool, but I didn't have a reason to use. I'm like, I can do those now. Like protectors. I've always loved protector models, and I've loved their whole vibe. Never had a point to use them because I was like, my dwarves are better in defense than protectors are.
Well, I'm even thinking of like cracking up my dwarves again too, because I got a whole bunch of them still in square bases. So.
Yeah, which is a waste.
And,
utter and disgusting waste.
I know.
They also just got so good, which there are a lot of dispossessed players who are like grumbling longbeards. It's funny, right? Like the dispossessed players are exactly what dispossessed are like, except the thing is, modern dwarves, and this is the hard thing that people get their heads around. They're not like the dwarves of Warhammer Fantasy, who are always... Dwarves of Warhammer Fantasy, right? For those who don't know the backstory, we're always grumbling. We're always like talking about how shit was better in their ancestors' generation. They had better houses, they had better income, they made better weapons, all that kind of jazz. And then the dispossessed, though, they kind of had that and lost it during the Age of Chaos and moved on with their lives.
Yep.
They still remember it, they still hold grudges, but they call themselves the dispossessed to remind themselves of like that they've moved past it, which is another cool like little factoid in the book that's worth a read. Cool Bunny pointing out that I may have already lied by saying that there's a lot of dispossessed players. There is a large percentile of the small number of dispossessed players. That's more accurate. Is that more accurate? Does it make us happy, Cool Bunny?
You know what? You might find a lot more now with this book.
That's true.
I can see that.
And the thing is, a lot of the older dispossessed, the percentage of older dispossessed players who've been playing it like for a little while, were actually getting really down about this book. And I read it, and I read the changes to dispossessed, and I was like, oh, mama.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they went from 0 to hero real fast. There's maybe a couple of little debuffs that I'm like, nah, that's shit. However, on the whole, I'm like, Yeah, they got real good. So I think Dispossessed have become infinitely better, and I'm not going to say why. You dwarves, slug nuts. How very dare you keep giving dwarves a hard time. But yeah, I would say the other thing that I'm kind of excited to see coming back from it as well is just the variety in command abilities. And there's no real one that I read that was supremely dominant over the others. Like it's like there was some and I'm like, oh man, that's such a cool command ability. And then I'd read their artifacts and I was like, oh, it's all right, but like I'm like, they don't really have a great command ability, artifact, spell, like none of them really seem to have.
There's like a balance, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's like kind of. It's doing pretty good. I'm really happy with everything that's in there so far. I've only really focused on the Living City stuff right now because I had the tournament coming up and I really needed to make sure I knew what was going on. I did see that cheat sheet that was going around on the internet that gave a little previews of what based on what was on the video book reviews and stuff, right? But
yeah, and then the book review that was literally just reading.
Yeah,
the book.
exactly. Yeah,
which, hey, I love a bedtime story. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
It's like a audiobook that you don't have to pay for that just softly tells you like Iron Drakes are now 4 up in combat.
Exactly.
Which there are a lot of changes. The biggest change to Dispossessed is Iron Drakes got a reasonable nerf in that they can no longer move and double shoot. They have to stay still to double shoot. But there are so many teleporting options that it doesn't freaking matter.
And you have like command abilities and like city abilities that actually can give you bonuses to your shooting.
Like Living City. Iron Drakes in Living City.
Oh yeah, that'd be stupid.
Are going to make the board edge. So 6 plus 16, so 24 inches. If you don't want to get shot by Iron Drakes, you need to be 24 inches from a board edge. That's not going to be easy to do.
Then you could do something like if you bring them on with Sorceress, right, and then you have like the bridge as well, you could actually shoot them in the shooting phase and you can move them if you wanted to.
Yeah,
because
true.
they actually have that command ability, right? And then teleport them over the bridge.
Yeah.
24 inches. Okay? So now they're speedy dwarves.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they just went from...
and that doesn't count as a move because they stood still.
Yeah, so they get to double tap. Or the other one as well, just I think in short, is that they've also gone from 4s to hit, 5s to wound, to 4s and 4s, which is a massive difference because previously, like, my Iron Drakes could shoot a unit up and kill it, but if I was relying on like a charge onto the objective, not a chance in hell that they do a single. They once did a single wound in a combat phase to Nagash, and I was like, yes, that was the only take. They got butchered the next combat round. None of them left, no survivors. But so I can use them for more shit, and I'm like, yes, that would be a happy place.
The versatility of them goes up, right? So, do you need more of that?
I am actually empty. Is there and the first it was a cheeky IPA and you were drinking
Santa Bruna.
cheeky little raspberry stout. But now in the theme of Cities of Sigmar being a return to form, we're going to drink a couple of Don't Call It a Comebacks.
Exactly.
Because obviously that's what's just happened is
they were never bad.
They were
They were just preparing.
They were just waiting. They were just having a little sleep.
What's that about?
Oh wow, yeah, that is lovely. That is. I'll call it that. I'm not going to call it a comeback.
No,
not a comeback.
Not at all.
Obviously, the free.
I actually don't like IPAs, and that's actually really good.
That's put me in a happy place. Yeah.
Oh, it's a strong one too.
There we go. Oh, really?
8%. Yeah.
Oh, great. This stream is about to get 80% more incoherent. Namira Martel is looking for a good Daughters of Khaine list. All right, I can tell you it. I can tell you it right now. Just go with me on this one. You're going to want Marathi, a Slaughter Queen on Cauldron of Blood, and 2 Hag Queens. Then maybe potentially also the tail snake thing. What is it? The
spellcaster? Or?
No, just the weird snake.
The snake lady?
Snake lady. One of the snake ladies.
Crap, what are they called?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, you might want a snake lady. You'll want at least 1 unit of 30 witch elves, probably a unit of 20, and then a unit of 10 Sisters of Slaughter, or in any combination that thereof. 2 units of either the flappy ones or the snaky ones, and then a Slaughter Troop or a Cauldron Guard. And that's going to be the list. that is almost always the same.
Actually, so the last list I played against in the event yesterday was Daughters Again, and it was way different.
Yeah, right.
I should say way different.
Way different.
How
different?
Okay, let's start it up.
Yep.
30 Sisters of Slaughter. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
10 witches. 10 witches.
Okay.
Hag Queen on Cauldron with the what's it called?
Hag Queen on Cauldron.
Yeah. What's the ignore mortal wounds?
Ignax's
That's
scales.
it. Yep.
Yep.
So with that on her, Marathi, 2 units of 5 Harpy ladies, right? No battalion, but Gotrek.
I love the shade in there. Just like all of these witch elves.
Yeah.
All these Daughters of Khaine, and then Gotrek being like, I got this.
Yeah.
How did he go?
So
Please tell me you
I did something stupid.
Okay. Yep.
I decided that I was. I gave him first turn. We were playing Relocation Orb, and I'm like, okay, I really need to get some shots into Gotrek. He has to get shot down as much as I can. So I had 2 units of Sisters of the Watch drop in. I set him at maximum range, and then shot 40 shots into him, brought him down to 3 wounds.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, good. Okay, he's getting
down
down there now,
he's
right?
Down. I mean, 8 down 3.
One more round, and then I got him for sure.
Yeah.
I did not realize that the unit that he had was a Sisters of Slaughter and not Witch Elves, and because I didn't notice the conversion that he did, it was really nicely done. But I should have realized that they're holding whips in their hands and not knives.
Yep.
But he
rookie
had
rookie
it was
era.
100%. I know Daughters of Khaine really well too, so I should not have like noticed that, whatever.
Yeah.
So as soon as I realized that they're Sisters of Slaughter, before he even did anything, I'm like, oh fuck, those are Sisters of Slaughter. Because Sisters of the Watch, what they can do is that they can when you end your charge within 1 inch of them, or 3 inches. Sorry, 3 inches now. They changed that.
Yeah.
You can shoot at them.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, go ahead, charge me. I'm going to shoot you with 20 shots right now, where 6 do mortal wounds plus additional damage, or plus regular roll, right? yeah. So, but Sisters of Slaughter, they don't charge.
No,
they can pile in 6 inches.
Yeah, so they just stand near you and are like, hey, I'm coming there after the combat phase is done when you don't have a chance.
And he ran them too, so he can get both the units, which were spread really far apart. So he just and basically wiped out all but 3 of my 20 Sisters of the Watch.
Yeah.
Now, before that though, I also dropped Durthu onto the field in that same area, and I'm like, I'm gonna run. I need to get rid of that cauldron. That cauldron has to go down. So. Originally, I was like, I'm going to charge Gotrek, and then I realized, oh crap, no, his damage goes down to 1 instead of 6, even though he's at full health, whatever.
I'm sorry. Gotrek like soaked up some rays from a purple sun, and all he got was a bit older. I feel like he can take a sword from a jumped up.
Sure. Anyway, so I charge in there, and the Gotrek is sitting right beside the cauldron. I get to the cauldron. I actually do like a decent amount of damage to the cauldron. It brought it down to about half health. It wasn't so bad, right? And then, but I'm in combat with Gotrek. So I just like, there goes Durthu.
1 round of combat?
Oh, it was barely even a hit. 1 hit, he's just like, oh.
He gave it a little look and it just crumpled.
There's 12 mortal wounds. I'm like, okay, well, there goes
Durthu. There you go, I mean, like, I won't lie, he puts me in a happy place. And the fact that it says reroll all, like it doesn't say reroll fails. So
you can just fish for it.
Well, yeah.
He didn't even have to.
I was playing him against the Blood Knight on Zombie Dragon with the Ethereal Amulet. So he's like a 3-up save that's unrenderable. And I was like, I'm just going to reroll everything that's not a 6. And they ended up pulling him down in a turn of combat. Like, Gotrek is just that beast. However, he is very, very expensive. And he is a quarter of the army.
Well, with Marathi in it too, that's like almost 1,000 points. That is 1,000 points.
And it's a lot of people have been talking about like the Marathi Gotrek like 1-2, and I do think it's scary. It's tough, it's scary, it's good, but
he had the problem where I dragged Gotrek to the very back of the field because I was in his deployment zone, right? So when I did that, he now had to run across the entire board to go get the orb because it landed on my end of the table.
and only had like a handful of models to do it. That's
exactly.
Yeah.
Like that game ended at relocation orb 3-2 for him.
Yeah.
So that means that he held it first turn for 3 turns, and I held it first turn for 2, and that was kind of it.
And one little change in there, one little sneak, and it's a completely different game.
Exactly.
And which is, I think Gotrek has an insane damage output. I think it's incredible. However, people who whinge about him, I don't see it as a big a deal. Now, if he was like only a handful of points, if he was only like 200, 300 points, fair. But arguably, like he is absolutely okay
I
at
think
520.
Games Workshop has been doing a pretty decent job recently of fixing stuff before it gets released. Like when you looked at that War Scroll for Gotrek, it's like, I'm trying to find something that's broken on. I'm like, no, I can't. I was like, that's actually not that bad. That's fair. It's fair, right?
Yeah, it fits his character as well. Yeah. Sometimes they're like, yes, blah blah the blah blah is quite a well-talented fighter.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, cool, okay, great. And then has like 12 attacks on profile, and you're just like, fuck off. Whereas I'm like, Gotrek 6 attacks. I see that. I see him as on par with most of those other really fighty heroes. But then the whole I fight and can do mortal wounds and then do damage on top. That's it. Also, sorry for those who know, just to match what Rob's doing, we have dogs here as well. And they are the most beautiful creatures that I've ever seen. Hey, come and say hello. There won't be butts. Probably not butts. They're not as dainty as the beautiful Jet, but they are absolutely gorgeous. And I will never, ever not have a problem with dogs.
Oh, I can't get him. He's too fast.
Right. I love you both. Tomb King Tristan asking rain or dogs? Dogs. It's dogs. It's the better time.
They're fighting in the background.
Lugnuts commenting that Drakfoot can take down Gotrek, which is, again, it's like, that'll be a huge one. His one way to stay alive, them just being like, yep, and no. Hello, welcome back. No, okay, no, they don't. They're not going to love us, but that's okay. The chat going crazy. Gnomesbane loving the puppers. Tomb King Tristan all about Jet.
Look.
Two gorgeous little critters.
Veronica, they got the treat bag.
I'll be all right. Look at you, you gorgeous little creatures. But yeah, unfortunately, this stream won't have as many bum holes.
No.
And I know that usually the streams with dogs, there's a lot of puckered sphincter. We just can't do it. They're too fluffy. And they're too beautiful.
Well, they're too squirrely right now too.
Yeah, that's true.
Good luck holding them.
But fun that you brought up Gotrek and lists, because our first major thing, and I know that this is going to excite a number of people both in the chat and who will message me about it tonight, is that Darkling Covens got a 4th placing at a 2-dayer. Now, arguably played by Mr. Dave Kerr, who is the back-to-back Australian champion, the Australian master, rather. So there's the Masters rankings in Australia. The top 12 or 8 get invited to a tournament. I can't remember. Clint from the Heralds of War is the man to know about that. And in that, Dave Kerr has back-to-back won it. I believe he still is the reigning master, unless I missed something. So
he won it last year with Stormcast, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the year before...
That's what I based my first Stormcast list off of, because
really?
I loved what he did with that, with the kitty caters and like...
And the thing I'll also say about Dave, I played him at CanCon the first year it broke 100, so I think we were at 110. We played in round 5. We both knew that whoever got the win was going on the podium, probably in first or second. He was playing Nurgle just after they dropped and they were the new hotness. I was playing Dispossessed, and it was the most intense, tight game. He is a wonderful War Dolly player. He is possibly one of the best players I have ever come up against. However, he is still the nicest person and an absolute legend. And I can count on one hand the number of game 5s I've had at a tournament where you're both at 4 wins and you're like, okay, like you can't not have that thought of like, I could be in for this. Like this could happen. And you're like, okay. And the pressure can get to you and it bites and you can be a dick or anything like that. We're all guilty of it. He is the biggest legend.
That's nice.
And I think that's probably why he does so well as well. And he had like a fanny pack with his dice in it. And so he'd just be like, he'd be like, all right, this bloke here, he's going to cut into him. And he'd be like, here we go, come on, mate. And, you know, they just like flick him out of his pack like some kind of shit magician. And yeah, he is an absolute legend. He is an incredible player, but took Darkling Covens to a 4th place.
That is amazing.
Which is incredible. However, those keen-eyed in the chat may have noticed that he was assisted by Godrek Gurnison. So Gotrek really carrying team order at the moment.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and also so it was a Darkling Covens army,
yeah.
and as you correctly pointed out, this was played on the release weekend of Cities of Sigmar, so not a cities list, Darkling Covens, but the war scrolls for a number of these units would have changed with the flip. So he was rolling the dice a little bit there, right?
Some of them did get like the executioners. I think they got a little bit weaker.
Yep.
The other ones, there wasn't too big of a change, but
no. But he's got a sorceress in there, and she
Oh,
obviously
yeah.
went from 0 to 100.
That's all.
Yeah,
That's all I
game
needed.
over. So Gotrek and 5 sorceresses, end of the game.
Gotrek is her support. That's all. Put her on a dragon. She did well on foot.
I'm pretty sure.
Dragon.
This just in.
That's my next
team,
purchase.
Yeah. But yeah, and also like kind of cool that it's using the War Scroll Battalion, the Thrall Warhost, which lets them like kind of throw a unit a turn forward to attack in the hero phase, all that jazz. But then a good mix as well between Executioners, Blackguard, Dark Shards, Dread Spears. Like it's a good mix. It's a good mix of them, and I'm digging the list because of it. And I'm very certain that it won't be too long until we see Privateer Corsairs getting up there.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're fighting
This
right
is so
now.
beautiful. It's like imagine 2 powder puffs slamming into each other with excitement.
Saturn, come here. Saturn, enough. Come on.
But the stream couldn't go without bringing you dogs, so we had to bring you dogs. I'm sorry. That was the entire purpose. We're not even here to talk about Cities of Sigmar. We're here to enjoy dogs.
Don't need to.
Is also Connor immediately pointing out as well upon seeing it how much of the work was Gotrek doing. I assume all of it.
Yeah.
It's too interesting getting excited about seeing a fluffy dog. They are the fluffiest of puppies as well. This is honestly beyond. Imagine the fluffiest puppies in the world. That's what they are, and it's gorgeous.
I'm gonna see if I can get one.
Okay.
See
if you can get one.
Keep on talking.
Good. See if you hunt one down.
I'm gonna bring them on.
And we'll bring a pupper out. And we're now bringing you live dogs. Live dog. Here we go. Okay, wait. Can we wait? I'll get a big screen. I'll get a bigger screen because if we're doing dogs, we need to please welcome the Canadian dogs.
There's Siler, the Australian Shepherd.
Siler, they accurately. Oh my gosh! Look at it. Get the beer out of the way. There we go. Get the beer out of the way. I am now co-hosted by a dog. And no bum holes though. Maybe no bum holes. But there we go. Hello. Now, what do you think about Darkling Covens doing incredibly well? Did that excite you? Yes? Yeah. Okay. So very excited about the Darkling Covens. Oh yeah, and also we did the obligatory stream bum hole necessary as well.
I got to keep up your appearance.
Yeah, definitely. Well, this stream needs maximum bum holes. Paul the Firewood Salesman, very, very excited about Darkling Covens. And yes, Tomb King Tristan pointing out they actually covered that event. The Failed Charge podcast did the coverage. Gemma, who you can go back and see, she co-hosted with me on the CanCon coverage as well. They're the loveliest people and they're so awesome. Cool Bunny in the chat pointing out that the dogs are a Bumerle Australian Shepherd and a Keyshound? Casehound.
It's a Dutch breed.
Oh, right. It sounds like Caisson, and I want to sing out that. But yeah, lovely dogs. But yeah, Connor Armstrong pointing out that Gotrek probably did a lot of the work. There was a Bringy Dingy as well, which is... Bringy Dingies, I find, are actually much more tactical than people give them credit for.
Well,
because
I'm really wondering what he used it for, because, like... You can't use it for Gotrek, right?
My guess is that it was because I think the Thrall Warhost, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Actually, you can probably pull it up. I'm pretty sure the Thrall Warhost lets you in the hero phase charge, pile in, and attack with a unit.
Oh, okay.
I may be wrong. There's definitely smarter Dark Elf minds than mine who would be able to. But I think that's what they get to do. So my guess, Thrall Warhost. So my guess, okay. At the beginning of the game, pick a sorceress in the battalion. In the hero phase, you can pick a unit that's within 12 inches of the enemy and 18 inches of the Coven Master. The unit can charge as if it was the charge phase and then pile in an attack. So here's my guess. The Bring Your Dinghy was to move them forward and then use keep the sorceress in range so that they can then charge. Well, they'd have a 9-inch charge to make, or maybe I think they get a +1, so an 8-inch charge, and then they can pile in an attack. When you've got like units of 10 Blackguard that you're not too concerned about sacrificing.
Yeah, that'll keep
you just throw units away. Okay, so sorry, someone said Gnome's been very happy that wrangle a pupper. Vanilla just saying you lifted him as a lapdog. Do you like dogs? Chris Fitz pulls out. We love dogs on this show. Handsome dogs, yes. Princess Wigglebottom excited for more on-location sessions. Okay, well, this was in fact almost a test, so thank you. To test that it all ported well, and it does. So maybe we will. Maybe I'll do on location from wherever I can. Princess Wigglebottom can guarantee a cat as well, which is good. Good. Cats, like dogs' excitement, cats will push shit off tables. So we'll see like the camera just fucking go in the middle of it. Connor Armstrong asking if it was pre-nerf. I believe they probably used the new War Scroll rules, but maybe not the things. As somebody who I'll find out. I will find out. But
they would have been released that day.
True,
right?
But they wouldn't have been on the app. So
actually, no, the app was already up. Wasn't it? Yeah.
And Dave is like I was saying, he's an absolute gent, but he's a really professional player as well. So I imagine that he probably would have either like confirmed which one he was doing it for.
I bet you the points were used from prior,
yes,
and then they used the new.
Then
War
they maybe
probably,
did that, something along those lines. But yeah, I think it's cool.
Because Louis was playing in the tournament yesterday, and he was trying to play free people.
Yeah.
But with the rule changeover, it was kind of it was really hard for him to do that. So he ended up just throwing together Cities army just there. Okay, that's the Cities now.
I think it's Cities now. Why? Because it just fucking is. Which I think was kind of the tough thing with Cities, like the release. It's probably the messiest release, only because it changes so much. Arguably, Legions and Nagash was maybe in a similar vein, but it wasn't anywhere near as widespread. Where you have not only you've got changes to rules that affect current allegiances people are using, changes to points inside of those, but then an entirely brand new allocation system for those models. Like it's a big one to fuck around with. Like
I can see like
you got a list up in like 3 days.
Oh yeah. I was already ready to go.
Let's do it. Straight up. It's like there's university students who don't study as hard as War Dolly players.
This book was designed for players like me.
Yeah, right.
That I have severe army ADD, and I cannot decide on which one I want to play with, and I'm always jumping all over the place. So the fact that I can go down to my basement and I can get, I got that unit now. Okay, I got that one. I can just like throw something together, and it actually helps me paint my armies too, because I'm very bad at like keeping up with my hobby backlog, right? I always I'd rather buy more shh, don't tell Veronica. But I bought a bunch of models today online. So
who would have ever done that? No, none of us are guilty of that. There's been a couple of times that I've fallen down.
Yep.
And as I've fallen, I've clicked buy it now.
Oh no.
Add to cart, buy it now, use credit card information already stored on file. Great. Who's done that? No one.
Enter in the CVS code.
This is the code. What was the code on the back of my card? Oh yeah, that's right. Accidentally while falling.
Yes.
And then when it arrives, you just do the thing of being like, oh no, I bought these ages ago. I don't know why they've taken so long to arrive. I'm so sorry for anyone who is giving away their moves. But I think it's like for me, I'm a beautiful hobby butterfly. You know, like I want to flip from one thing to another, and the idea of having, you think about Stormcast, right?
Yeah.
You got 4,000 points of Stormcast Eternals. That's great, but basically you're just doing different iterations of the same rules.
Yes.
Whereas the thing I'm digging about Free Cities is you have a Free Cities army. If you've got 4,000 points of Free Cities, you can craft 2,000 points and then across 7 different allegiance abilities. And then you've got so many different layers.
Well,
of putting it together.
and like the options that you have, like you want to play with some trees in your army, play Living City. You want to play with some flying boats, play Tempest
Yeah,
Eye.
that's it. Yeah, exactly. It's like and then you can ally them in, or they can just be a part of the army. Like it's in such a really, really good place.
You have Stormcast, like pretty much every Age of Sigmar player does, because they came in the starter kit.
Yep.
You have Stormcast in there now.
I don't think there's anyone who, and also like all the anniversary models and stuff for Stormcast.
Oh, yeah,
so everyone's got one.
Yeah.
Everybody has one.
Oh yeah, even in that Incanter that came in the book. I picked it up. I didn't need it, but I bought it.
Yeah. Also, one of the few models now that's still flipping people off.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I mean, giving this sign
that's why he's painted it in my army.
Yeah, good. With a bright red glove, just to draw attention to it. Moondak was keen for the Deepkin. How dare you against Gertrude? Mandollies, or as for ages, both Rob and myself used to call it Mendelese, because we're great at names. Pointing out that a book usually brings points down, which it did in this one. But it's like Iron Drakes. It brought their points down, but also reduced their immediate effectiveness. Whereas there were other Dispossessed Longbeards got better, but they had their points brought up.
Well, same with the Eternal Guard, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's bitching about that for some reason. I don't know why, but they're not worth it anymore. They're too expensive. They are so good right now.
Yeah.
Like you can give them a 2+ save.
And when was the last time you saw a Wood Elf with a 4+ on base? +1 if they don't move, I think.
So it's +1 if they don't move, and then you give them cover from the Sisters of the Thorn. They're at a 2+ save right there.
You're like, good, good. Which a Maw Crusher will definitely will now with its new rules, but largely they're that bubble that you can't push through. There was definitely one winner, which Chris Fitz is pointing out in the chat, which is Shadow Warriors.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
That's what I bought.
Yeah, Shadow Warriors. Shadow Warriors got great.
Well, they're really good with Ambleguard.
Yeah.
Because with that spell.
Being able to sneak in.
Yeah, that minus, not minus, the remove your armor save, and then you just drop in, I've seen these stupid lists that are popping up where someone's taking 10 units of 10.
Fuck. All right.
Yeah. It was and you take the sorcerer with spell portals, because spell portals get infinite range now. Yeah. And you just sit her in the back corner of the field and cast your spell through there.
I'm not holding my breath for that surviving, okay? I think only because I have a theory. I have a theory that this book has been sitting in a container ship just off of the South China coast for a very long time.
Yeah, I can see that.
Right? That's what I think. I think this beautiful mustachioed handlebars gentleman here, he's been waiting for me for ages. And it's broken my heart. It's broken my heart. He's got some friends in the background, but that's okay. I can swing between all of them. I love them all equally.
Even the elves?
Well, there's no elves in this, is there?
Isn't there?
I hope not. I need to get myself a new cover made if there is. But the thing is, I think they've been waiting for us for a while.
Yeah.
I feel like the reason it took so long from a reveal to get Cities was just because books are taking a long time to get out because of the publishing problems that they've had. But I feel like there's FAQs coming, and that probably is going to get changed. Maybe. I feel like the spell portal is an insane one.
Yeah, I think it needs to get... It probably needs to be slightly corrected.
Yeah.
Just that instead of unlimited, make it double the range.
Well, there are no other ones that are like that.
Yeah.
Every other one increases it by 6, or doubles the movement, or lets you set it up further away, or lets you reroll damage. Whereas spell portal goes from being mild, goes from being strong to unbeatable.
Yes.
Being where are you putting it? Right next to you, buddy.
Yeah.
right next to
And you can't dispel it because you're going to be more than 30 away, right?
Exactly.
So
it's one of the few times you can just camp in the corner of the board and be like, welcome to Spell Portal City. What can I get you today? The answer is pain.
Now, to be fair, you can only use it against one unit.
Yeah. Oh, but if you've got an AoE spell or something like that affects all...
Well, there isn't really too many AoE spells. Like what you would end up doing with that one is that you would remove the armor save, right? Yeah. And then you drop in 3 units of Shadow Warriors and you just shoot them.
Shoot their shit
because
out of
it doesn't matter that you have an armor save or not, you're dead.
Unless you go Trek, because then you got a 3 up after pain save.
So remember Eric's Reflecto Dragon?
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, that cancels out his Reflecto Dragon.
Oh yeah, true. Because you
it
can't
removes
roll
his
an armor save. You can't. Yeah. Oh my goodness, staunch defender. So for those who missed that, I interviewed a little while ago Eric, who played the Reflecto Dragon, Stormcast Wing, and the dragon basically played by reflecting hits from its armor save into mortal wounds against you. If you don't get an armor save, you don't get that, which is fucked and terrifying.
And if you can't dispel it,
yep,
he just teleports in the Shadow Warriors because they can deep strike.
Is 2 casters in the back corner, as far away from anything as they can be, just to cause some problems.
Oh yeah, and like what a sorceress is 90 points.
Yeah, true.
So and then you get like a battle mage for 80. Just cast
their job is just to literally be there.
Oh yeah, and then on top of it too, you get a unit of the Darkling Coven models, or whatever you want to have, like the spears or whatever, right?
Just around.
Sacrifice 2 of them, you get +2 to cast on that now. And now that instead of that spell being an 8 to cast, it's now a 6.
Yep, true. And then you're in the hate place.
Yep.
And then you're standing near mystical terrain. Why wouldn't you be?
Of course.
But I also think as well that you're going to see a lot of now I don't understand American football. I watched many movies as a child that came out in the 90s and early noughties that had American football.
Yep.
So I understand that if someone goes to kick, one person like puts the ball in place and the other person kicks it. I don't know what that's called.
Well, one's the kicker and the other one's called.
The other one is the kicker's emotional support. We don't do that in Australia. In Australia, you just get the ball and you kick it yourself. So I feel like that's what we're going to see. We're going to be seeing like a battle mage whose job it is just to set the ball and then look and be like, you got this, hun, and then the kicker stabs the battle mage or stabs a nearby cheap unit. I think there's an 80-point unit in the book now. Stabs the unit and then takes the kick and goes in and that's pretty much going to be it.
For sure.
That'll be the 1-2 hit from a place you can't dispel it just to fuck you up. And yeah, Shadow Warriors, Chris Fritz, I agree, it's crazy. However, they can kind of be zoned.
Yeah, but like, think about it. They have an 18-inch range.
Yeah.
Right, on their shots. Yeah. So, and you have to drop them 9 inches away from an enemy model.
Yeah.
So, like, how much can you zone out? Like, Skaven can probably do it without too much of an issue, right?
Yeah, they like Skaven Eshin as well, because they've got all the before-game moves.
Yeah.
Tomb King Tristan going to bed. Good night, Tomb King. Lugnuts has fought that, apparently, or maybe he was talking about a different list.
I think he would fight it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, right, yeah.
That would actually be tough because I've seen his Savage Orc army. That's like insane.
He's got no armor saves to lose.
No.
He's fighting Savage Orcs, right? Yeah, you don't give a crap. The Book of Intentional Combinations says Vanilla just asked, which is probably good. AOS Big FAQ at the end of October. Yes, we should be anticipating Big FAQ as well. Cool Bunny wanting us to shut up about the spell portal so that she can take advantage of it at a tournament coming up. I should also say, for those who are interested, that we have the biggest weekend in Age of Sigmar coverage ever, the world over, I believe, coming up this weekend. Not this weekend. No, not this weekend. Not for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Not for a fortnight. But myself and a number of other locals are going to be covering an event here in Canada. At the same time, on the same weekend, Rob and the Honest Wargamer team from across the pond at the motherland are going to be covering an event there. So there's basically going to be 10 games of Age of Sigmar back-to-back streamed unbroken from 2 continents.
That's awesome.
So between Kippers Melee and over there, I believe it's Bloodshed in the Shire that they're doing. So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be insane. I'm terrified, but it'll go great. I'm also doing it with the lovely Ricky from Dimensional Cascade.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's like, did you watch Captain Planet?
Yes.
Ever? Yeah. So by our powers combined, we will be Captain Content, and we'll awesome. Shoot our rings together and bring hopefully some wonderful coverage from Kippers Melee, which is on Nanaimo. Yep. So really excited about that. But that's in the future. That's future us's things.
It's actually got a really good Age of Sigmar turnout this year too.
Yeah,
like insane. Like it's actually we're outselling 40K right now.
Yeah, which let's be honest, that's how it happens.
Sure.
Age of Sigmar just balloons. It's like CanCon. Yep. So I think. So this year, for those who don't know, it actually sold out mid-stream last show. It sold 240 tickets in less than 12 hours with 5 hours of server downtime because the load was so hard, which is insane. Yeah. And it's a story that's being retold everywhere, like tournament, and it can be as small as tournaments going from like 15 people to 20 people. It doesn't have to be in the hundreds, but that's the cool thing, right? Yeah. Is it's those little steps as everybody gets more and more excited about it, and it's an awesome game, so I can see why, as long as they're not playing Slanesh. But Ildesass is saying Anvil Guard and Drakefoot to a doubles tournament, so you turn off the save and then attack without them being able to negate. You're a terrible, terrible man with a very, very dark attitude, and I like it. But you'd emotionally break a lot of people. The Cool Bunny throwing some shade at Lugnuts, who handles it in his usual fashion. Solid Lugnuts. I got to say I'd take Cool Bunny in that, but that's because she's both bringing a beer and plays fucked armies. Very, very, let's say very efficient armies. Plays very efficient armies, though everyone should be terrified because she is the army whisperer, would we say?
Yeah, so basically every army that she's picked so far, now she's decided that she's wanted to play it before she even knew what they could do. Like before a book was released or whatever. Like the very first one, Legion to Nagash.
Yep.
Okay, so she picked that one. That was right after the Nurgle book, and I convinced her. So they were really good.
Well, yeah, it turns out.
Right away.
Basically, Legions of Nagash at the top of the table.
Yeah, exactly, right? But then right away, she sees the ad for Daughters of Khaine on the, I guess they previewed it at LVO last year, right? Or what year before, whatever it was. Right. So she saw that and she's like, I need that army. That's amazing. She picks up. She doesn't know what it does yet.
Just off images alone. Alone. Yeah.
Just look at the models. She's like, okay, I want that. So then she plays Daughters of Khaine. Daughters of Khaine turns out to be like one of the top armies out there. Mm-hmm. Next army up that she starts seeing, she's like, oh man, Slanesh looks really cool. I really hope they come up with a new book soon. I want to start a Slanesh army. This is like pre-Battletome, there's rumors that they might release something out there, right?
Yeah,
but then she's like, so she starts collecting a Slanesh army. I was putting a bunch of models together for her, and of course they come out, and she's like, they're
absolutely fucked. Yeah, and we played at Attack X in the last round, and it was the tightest game. That it felt like the entire game was just me, like throwing shit out there to try and get ahead in points, and then just slow her down. like it's. And I got lucky. I think it came down to, and I mean, I think it was the best I could play for was turn 5 priority. Whoever took turn 5 priority won. I got priority and got the win, and that was the most I think I could hope for against Slanesh. And it was like I shot a keeper to death turn 1, and the other keeper killed like a third of my army by itself. I was like, oh my god, why? Why? It was the same with when I played Flesh Eater Courts. I was like, there was 2 dragons. I killed one. And then the second one took out half my army on half wounds. I was like, fuck this. There's a reason they're that good.
Now, the next army she's after is Anvil Guard Dark Elf army. So anybody who wants to be ahead of the meta right now, invest heavily into Dark Elves.
It means Dadham is already there.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it must be Anvil Guard.
Yep.
I don't know why, but she just chose Anvil Guard. She did not choose it for any other reason except for Hydras. Battle line.
Hydras.
She wants Battle line Hydras.
God. I mean, they got her. They didn't get. I was going to say they got her right. They didn't got her right. They got better.
They did.
with the invention of like the what they call the Drake's blood curses or whatever.
Yes. Like the Mount Drake type of thing, right?
But yeah, Lugnuts is asking how can Slaanesh be good if they lose to dwarves? It's how they lose to dwarves. It's the same with Flesh Eater Courts. It's not that they're good because it's not that they're bad because they lose to dwarves. It's because of how hard it had to still come down to a random dice roll for dwarves to get the win. That's the intense part. But yeah, Lugnuts, I'm not going to talk shit about it. I don't think you should either, because I don't imagine that his entire multi-wound army.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of depravity.
That's
just a lot of depravity.
Being like, do you know how many keepers each one of your units is? Like,
she's gonna run out of keepers.
Yeah, that's it. For every unit I kill, I get another keeper of secrets. I just want you to know that. I just want you to know that. So if I kill your unit and you kill my keeper of secrets, you killed nothing effectively.
Yep.
And I killed an entire unit.
Yeah, well, they have like 30 orcs in a unit, is that right?
Yeah.
So that's a keeper.
That
is a keeper.
That's a keeper.
That is a keeper.
And they're like damage 5 or some shit when they start. Like, yeah, anyway. Lugnuts is excited because they have the monster keyword, which I guess Bone Splitters are good against. So you'd be able to kill the keeper, but then the keeper would just come back. Yep. It's the problem.
And they keep on coming back too.
And then they're getting the points for the kills on you and the kills on that. I have problems with Slaanesh.
Well, she played that. She played against Eric's Stormcast army, and she generated 160 depravity points.
Holy crap!
She had 6 keepers on the table. not at the same time, but like.
In some way, there's someone going like, "Yeah, we done did that wrong." You know, like there's someone for sure wrote the Slaanesh book, played against Slaanesh, and was like, Yeah, they can be beaten, but
the funny thing is, it's like they're not broken.
Yeah.
But they're like just over that edge that makes them broken. Like they just passed that point. Because if you increase the cost of like their summoning or like reduce the amount of things they're allowed to summon in a particular turn, right? Say you can summon 1 unit or do what they do with
or you
Khorne.
Spend the points and lose any excess.
Yeah. So you really have to pick what you want. So you can't just do the chain summons of heroes out to get a keeper on the other side of the board. Yeah. Because you have like 100.
Or like newly summoned units can't then be used to summon something else.
Exactly. You know, like some of that. But it's just needs like a little bit of a.
I agree. I think it needs that's a good one. I saw a really good one the other day, which I thought was really awesome. That was for every wound inflicted by their heroes, you got a depravity point, but every wound inflicted on their heroes, you lost one.
Oh, okay.
So to try, or vice versa, but basically to try and put that balance in there, because at the moment, right, if you're a Slaanesh player and you have a Keeper of Secrets, which you're doing it wrong, you should have 3. But like if you've got a Keeper of Secrets, you're like, I should just throw it forward, get depravity from my kills, get killed and get depravity, and get my Keeper of Secrets back at a net gain. Yeah. You know, like there needs to be some risk to reward. Now, like you look at, say, Khorne. For them, they get Blood Tithe points for getting kills. They don't get kills outside of combat, which means for you to be getting Blood Tithe points, you're taking a risk. At the moment, Slaanesh is like, we don't have any risks. I just get rewards.
The only problem I would see with that not getting depravity if you take a wound is that if you go up against something like your dwarf army where it's only one wound models, but then they're at like a major disadvantage. It tips the scales too much the other way.
Kurbani did say that. I think pretty confident. She said, and by this point in the tournament, I'd had a few drinks. I'm pretty confident she said my game was the only game she didn't get enough depravity to summon a keeper.
Yes. And she lost a keeper.
Which I'm just like, that shouldn't be a level of success, you know? Like, I only got to play with the monsters and expensive models that I brought. I didn't get a free one. That's not a measure of success, and it shouldn't be okay. So basically, what you're saying is Anvil Guard. So to cut a long story short, because we love a good little segue and divergence on this show. Anyone jump on board with Scourge Privateers and Anvil Guard, because Hydras are going to be the new hotness.
Yep, and don't forget the Sorceress.
And the Sorceress.
Melee
and Hydras.
beast.
Right. Just her next to a Hydra, and then see who does more damage. I'm kind of excited for the Hydras only because I loved that scene in Hercules, the animated movie, where he just like kept cutting off the heads of the Hydra and then tied all the necks together. I'm very excited to experience that in real life. But yeah, okay, I think there's a few people talking about the LVO at the moment. Princess Wigglebottom asking if I'll be available to drink during the day. I'll be streaming, so probably not during the day because otherwise I'll lose my voice over the weekend. But I could sneak one or two in there. I'll probably need in between rounds.
You gonna do interviews in between too?
Yeah,
with players.
Probably. Fuck.
So we gotta we gotta make it look like we're playing like some kind of like real sports game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, just
splash water in our faces.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's like really tough. It was we gotta play hard.
It's a game of two halves. It's a game of two halves. And then someone's got to be sitting there like dabbing the brow, like drying them off, and we need like a swollen eyebrow, and someone be like, just cut it, I can't see. Like that. We'll get to that Rocky level. I think I would so love to play in a tournament that had like 5 minutes between battle rounds, and everyone got a coach, and like there was just not a chair, a stool about a meter back from the table either side that you went and sat down in, and then they like put a towel around your neck. And we're just like, how you doing, man? You gotta go like that left side, dude. Like you've got to get your defense up on that left side. Like shit, you're letting it go.
That would be awesome. You could actually just do that in your opponent's hero phase.
That's true. Yeah, right.
Okay,
oh my God.
End of my turn. All right.
All right, priority. Who's taking it? You are? Okay. And then you just sit down and you're both making like unbroken eye contact with your opponent. They're like, what is actually that's maybe,
sportsman? Yeah.
That's where the game needs to go to. That's the next stage of the game, is aggressive outside of turn play.
Yeah.
Yes, but technically, you're not necessarily doing anything wrong. You're just bringing emotional support.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's it. A lot of people signing off saying that they will be playing in the tournament that I'm covering, but that they'll be drinking anyway. So that's
they do have that drinking trophy.
This tournament. So there are some tournaments that in the future we will cover, and they will be very competitive and very like.
Did you still get a ticket for Kippers?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to be there, but I'm not playing.
No, I'm just wondering if you actually paid a ticket, because then you could qualify for that drinking trophy.
Oh,
and you could play in your own way.
Okay, fair. No, that's true. I can win my own race. No, I should buy a ticket then.
There is a tough challenger though. Ryan from last year, he had that wizard staff of like.
Oh yeah, shit. Okay, so like the 5th game's coverage is just me being like, I'm so sorry guys, but I need to drink like 7 of these to win, so you're going to see something horrifying. Also people talking about Vegas, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah, that'll be so much fun.
So I'm staying in a room with a bloke who I believe is going to be playing Seraphon at Vegas. So there's going to be a room that's dispossessed in Seraphon. That is going to be a winning fucking room right there. Gnomesbane last year got lost on the strip and fell down the stairs at Bally's. So Gnomesbane, obviously a good one to be around. Can't wait. That'll be good. And also pointing out that you don't have a hangover if you never stop drinking, which is appropriate. Cool Bunny excited for Vegas. I'm excited, as I've said on the stream before. It's the Gun Show and the Adult Video Movie Awards.
Yep. So lots of actions going on.
Yeah. And to be honest, I won't have eyes for any of it. Yeah. I'll be like, hey, how are you going? I'm like, I am so sorry. I'm dealing with a Marathi that I can't fucking kill for 2 turns. I don't care who you are. Unless you're bringing me the floral wreath that the Wanderers have that disable all of someone's abilities, fuck off! It'll be a really intense time to be there. And surprisingly, I think not the crowd for either the Gun Show nor the Adult Video Movie Awards that you would anticipate Vegas would attract. Mostly because like what I would find more attractive is if they were like if there was a let's say a competition and you had an adult video movie star on one side and then a dispossessed battle tone teasing me on the other side, I'd be like, yeah, that's right. You show me those Ironbreaker stats. Oh, units of 5? Damn. You know, like that's
yep.
I'm
Two
not the crowd.
Apiece?
Yeah. Tell me what your arm save is. Oh, yes, God. I feel like I'm probably not in the right place there, but that's okay. It'll be fine. Roulette, so anyone who is going to LVO, this is yourself included, please keep me away from the blackjack tables.
I am not as good as I think I am.
Okay, fair enough.
Casino me, drunk me, thinks I'm much better. So basically, if at any point I seem like I'm stressed, I haven't cracked the code, it's not going well, is the answer. So yeah, that's one for everyone. Lugnuts will be fine. It's going to be a table coach. It's just going to say run at them and smash them.
Nice.
Which is exactly what I would expect of someone who took 3 magma dragons to an event. Holy bananas. Bad Moon Dakker's keen for Hammered Hammer.
Lugnuts. How many Savage Orcs are you bringing to Kippers?
That's a good question. How many
Very
savages? Princess Wigglebottom saying the last time in Vegas you wound up splashing around in the fountain at Caesar's Palace with a homeless man. So it was a party for you and a bath for him. That's good. And Gnome's Bane saying you're a hero and a scholar, which is fair, completely fair. Cool Bunny has redacted her own comment just for the people who can't handle it, which is probably for the best. Extra models for whoever can carry their models in an elevator beside a porn star. Here's the challenge I'll throw out, and I'll throw out a bounty on this. Someone who can convince someone to bring their army to the table. You know, like just the power of that move.
Wait, what do you mean,
like having someone there,
yeah.
Whether it's someone who is holding, I assume, an AK-47 or a trophy for winning an award, I would like someone to convince someone from outside of War Dollies.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
To carry their model tray to the table, and then leave.
Well,
like I don't need them there. I just want them to be like, duh.
It is Vegas. You can buy whatever you want.
That's true. That's true. It's a city of sin. You'd be like, what do you want?
If you have enough money, that's like.
It's like, okay, this is gonna sound weird. They're like, I guarantee you, I've heard weirder. And you're like, I also guarantee you haven't. So see these little guys? These are called dispossessed. And what I want you to do is I want you to carry this tray of dispossessed to table 15. It's going to be all the way down the back. You're going to turn right. You're going to put it down. And then you're going to say, Warden King Barandun is here to crush your groby necks. Now, is that the weirdest thing that you've ever had asked of you? You know, like that's the level.
Actually, I think it would be even better if you walked up to one of the porn stars and said, how do you feel about dwarfs?
We're called Dwarden now. That's very racist. That's a very triggering thing to say to us. We are Dwarden. But yeah, I'm sure very...
You got to put it in layman's terms.
That's true. We've got to break it down.
Yeah,
We've got to break it down. Gnome Spain cracking the code, yes. Lugnuts is torn between 140 and 180.
There is only one answer to that, Lugnuts.
Yeah.
180.
It's 180, right? Like, you can't not take it. No.
That's like...
Merchant Print pointing out that the flesh is temporary, but war dollies are eternal, which yes, I'd agree with. Yeah. Lugnuts is going to try and convert all of these sinners by introducing them to the word of book. You heard about our Saviour? Fair, good idea. I like it. Gnome's Bane is going to use Mangler Squigs on the craps table.
Nice.
Which is right. Okay, fair enough. Be like, show me a 7. Got it. They're like, so there are no pips on those dice. Like, there's teeth. Yeah. Yep.
They'll bounce like crazy.
Yeah. God. Can you imagine you rock up like if a tournament, a casino was like, yeah, we're using the squig dice. You just be like, boom.
They roll like shit anyway, so they go ahead.
Yeah, go nuts. Yeah, they're like, it's all
snake
2s
eyes,
and 3s.
Snake eyes.
I don't know. That was great. Bad Moon Dacker wants a whole army of little people dressed like dispossessed. Okay, yeah.
Again,
right,
Vegas,
yeah.
you can buy anything with the right amount of money.
It's Vegas, I'm sure. I just need to get the capital for this. But I feel like how ridiculous would it be if at a tournament you had someone whose job it was to deliver your models, like.
Well, I do that for Veronica, but...
Okay, fair, yeah. But then you go and play your own games,
Yes,
right?
I do, yes.
That's the thing.
But I walk up to her table, I give her models, and I walk away.
Yeah, Madame.
If anybody's ever been in a tournament with myself and Cool Bunny, you'll notice that.
Best of luck to you, Madame, and then you bugger off. But I reckon, no, but someone whose job it is there is to deliver your models would be incredible.
Well, if we put enough money, we can all pitch in like $5.
Yeah, that's true, and we can get like someone who's over the course of the weekend. Well, it's not a weekend, is it? It's Friday.
Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. If you're in the finals, you get to go from there.
Yeah, which I didn't know. So I got lucky that I was
Oh yeah, dude. Like you're on a Thursday, right?
Yeah. So I got in on Thursday, but that was because I was like, if I'm going all the way, I want to be able to enjoy it. So I'll have Friday to do stuff. And then someone was like, I think it was you, was like, it's a Friday, Saturday tournament, right? And I was like, what?
Yeah, they did that last year, and I actually, I forgot what I was watching one of the video streams, and someone said, oh, remember, it starts on the Friday, not on the Saturday. So I double-checked this year.
How many people got caught out and they were like, oh, God, no. But which means on the Sunday, I imagine I'll be wandering around doing nothing because I got nothing to do. Or Dispossessed. I mean, Dispossessed will be superior. Yeah. And I'll be playing in the finals.
100%. You'll be the top whatever it is, right? So.
That's just very facetious, but I don't. But no, I'm excited. I'm disappointed I'm not getting back to CanCon this year. Again, it's sold out that's quick, really cool. And it'll be the biggest tournament in the world. But I figure while I'm over here, I need to go to Vegas, and
I would love to go to CanCon if it wasn't so far away.
Yeah, it's CanCon's a trip. Yeah. The one thing I will also throw in there is that the Australian water volley community is so wonderfully supportive that if you're like, I'm going to CanCon, they'd be like, where do you land? What time does your flight get in? We'll pick you up and we'll take you out. It wouldn't be hard to get there because you would literally have a country of people because we're so removed, right? Like that's something that I've noticed. We're so removed that we get super excited when everybody is coming out our way.
That's awesome.
And so it's like, how can we possibly make this easier for you? So you'd be all right if you came to CanCon, but it is like a 22-hour flight.
I hate flying, like, as it is.
Yeah.
I'm not even looking forward to flying to Vegas, like, with miniatures. I've never done it before, and I'm a little bit nervous about it. But
I get so drunk on planes. It's the only way I can get on board. I worked for a company that I had to fly just about twice a month, so like 4 flights a month. I'm terrified of flying. I had an emotionally scarring experience as a child. We don't need to go into it. But I was on a plane that didn't want to be a plane anymore. And I mean, the pilot was great. Convinced the plane not to be a rock, which I was stoked about.
Just turn into a glider?
Yeah. He was like, hey, mate, how about you be half a plane for the next 15 minutes? And then you can be whatever the fuck you want to be, which I hope at this point is a series of aluminum cans. But basically, since then, I've been terrified of flying. And even when I was working in a job where I was doing it 4 times a month. So my company used to pay me a $50 like fee every time I had to fly to go to the bar beforehand and have a bunch of drinks just to get on the plane. And I'd literally be sitting next to people, and when it was really bad, I'd be sitting next to like some stranger, some random, and I'd be like, hey, I just want to let you know, takeoff and landing are a really dark time for me.
Okay, well, I'm glad I'm not flying with you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. No. On the other hand, my poor flying guest, look, Miguel's going to have a rough time. But that's okay. He'll be fine. He'll be all right. But no, I'll just be liquored to the eyeballs, and I'll be like watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer or whatever's on the thing really intensely.
See, I have the other problem. I can't sleep when I'm playing. I'm a very light sleeper, so like I have to take a shit ton of pills if I want to fall asleep on the plane.
Yeah.
And then I'll fall asleep for half an hour, and that's it. So a couple years ago, I went to Europe. I tried to knock myself out, and of course, finally fell asleep on the plane. And somebody walks by with a kid in their arms, and literally, the kid was quiet the entire time until it passed my seat. And it's like, wow! I'm like, oh god!
Is there anything worse?
And then then I'm watching movies for like 8 more hours.
So I feel bad for people because I'm just like, I'm the child screaming. Yeah, like that's how I operate.
It's okay. Are you?
Oh yeah, I mean,
I'm out. So
well, yeah.
I went for one more. Or?
Yeah. Definitely. This stream has never been.
Yeah, let's make sure.
All right. Last one.
Yep.
And the last one has to be a biggie. Cheers. Because obviously,
only one more.
If you're only going to have one more, it should be a big one. Except I have no fingernails because I bit them all off in a state of nervousness. I got it. I can do it. You're not my dad. But yeah. Sorry. Lugnuts to Mad is going to go there and be betting teeth, which will be intense, but I would love to see someone rock up to a table at a casino and just like put all these teeth down and be like, I'm in. And they'd be like, so what do you,
I will give you $20 if you do that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, right. I'll just pay you to try and bet teeth. You'll be kicked out and you'll never be let in. Yeah.
Don't do it at the casino that we're staying at.
Sorry, LLV is asking, where are we? Currently, we're in the city of Darren, because I figured for Cities of Sigmar, we should travel. And because the two of us have been waiting on the book for ages, and we were going to be talking about it, I figured we may as well be here.
This is McInnes Castle. You can
The
see in the
McInnes,
background.
Castle McInnes, yeah, fair. It's a small known one in the realm of life because Vancouver's green, which is so nice. LLV also pointing out that that Rob was meant to meet him at a train station after he travelled 3,000 miles to Nottingham and got there, and Rob was at a coffee shop, which is and that's the difference between people from the motherland and people from Australia. Australians don't have a coffee shop. We're very lucky to have 2 kangaroos and an electric wire connecting them so that we can communicate. LVs, but good to know Australia's more accommodating. We'll take care of you. That'll be fine. We're in Darren Land, yes. And Bad Moon Dak is saying it's an average-sized beer. So I would love to see the size of your cans, because this is a wizard staff of pure...
Well, that's a tall boy.
Yeah, right? Like, these two... look, they're both emasculating me, which is fine. Yeah, they're righteous. And also, beer is so much cheaper here than in Australia. And it breaks my heart for all of my brothers and sisters.
Now I don't want to go there.
The ocean. Yeah, right? I mean, we have very good beer, but you just, not Foster's, never Foster's. But we have very good beer, but it's just a little bit more expensive. No, Bane's saying it's just a taster.
Just a taster.
Yeah, that's it. That's why you can tick it off.
Yeah. We got more over here anyway.
So I guess, okay, so you've mostly focused on the Living City as, in the Cities of Sigmar. But on the whole, poking through the War Scrolls, how did you feel about them? Because, and this is where, and I'll throw this to yourself and the chat, right? Cities of Sigmar has added a new option for people who play Free Peoples and Dispossessed and Wanderers and all those things. Do you think that we're going to see these people convert across to Cities of Sigmar? Or do you reckon that they might take the War Scroll changes and points changes and keep playing in theirs until the next General's Handbook?
Eventually, I think people will change over.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of resistance at first because I don't think this is the book that everybody really wanted.
Yeah.
But it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Fair.
Like,
yeah.
I would have loved to have a Wanderer's book.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing, right?
Yeah.
And I was getting really excited when I saw them in the GHB. I'm like, okay, all these armies are going to get a book now.
Yeah, but
And
Wanderers
they didn't, but it's fun.
But I think the thing to as well think about is, like, Wanderers don't really have their own niche anymore.
No.
Sylvaneth have a niche.
Yeah.
And
and
I'll admit it, Dispossessed don't have a niche. Free Cities don't have a niche. You are a mortal, flesh and blood, and if one thing has set the mortal realms apart from Tolkien, it's that the realms and the majority of the cities of the mortal realms are cosmopolitan.
Yes.
Like, I love the stories about the Dispossessed that were known as the Root Kings. They didn't, which is a great name, but also, like, their whole shtick was they built fortresses out of the roots of, like, they lived in the realm of life, and their city walls were made out of roots and ironbark or whatever it was. Like, they made weapons and shields and armor out of
right?
They were like, the wood is for burning. Like, Dispossessed were, like, dwarves were one city and elves were another city, and neither were welcome in the other. And now, like, even though they might not,
They had a hatred for each other, didn't
they? And
It's
a very fair hatred.
Yeah.
They shaved us, but there was like a
it was actually a rule.
Yeah. Hatred, greenskins, and then elves as well. Yeah, they didn't like Skaven, greenskins, or elves. They were the crotchety neighbour that hates everyone. But the thing I think that has been really good is in making them more cosmopolitan. It's like Dispossessed are cosmopolitan.
Yeah.
A Fire Slayer shows up and people are like, oh, that's one of them fire dwarves. Geez, he's a bit bulky. Or they see a KO and they're like, ooh, that's one of those sky dwarves. But a regular dwarf, you're like, that's a day-to-day dwarf. That's the dwarf that I see who does my taxes. You know, like that's, and I feel like that maybe Wanderers were sort of in the same thing.
Yeah, no, they were for sure. Well, they got kicked out of the. Alariel did not like the Wanderers very much. So let's put it that way.
I don't care for you. Well, didn't they abandon the trees? Like.
Well, yeah. Basically, what was it? The whole thing was Alariel protected the trees more than she protected the the Wanderers, like
Yeah.
the actual living elves, and
Yeah.
they're like, we can't stay here anymore because you're letting us die. So
Yeah,
we're gonna
basically,
leave.
like-
And she's like, how dare you leave?
Yeah. Where are you going? We're going away from the government that said that we're second-class citizens.
Exactly, right?
Like, basically, like Ilaria was like, "You're all refugees now," and they were
Yeah.
like, "We aren't cool with that." She's a bit of a dick.
Yeah, just a little.
Just a
you
little,
know,
bit of a dick.
a little cranky.
But yeah, so Grail's saying the Free Peoples won't. 350 and 1 style bonus, yes. Is City? So Merchant Prince pointing out it's a good question. Is Cities of Sigmar meant to replace the General's Handbook allegiances? And if so, why lock them to 2 realms? Again, that's my one gripe about the book.
I
not
still
enough
think
realms.
there will be more cities.
Yeah.
I think they're going to open it up. In
Yeah.
the future, it'll be a long time from now, but they will open it up. There'll be another cities book. They'll have more realms in there, and because they can.
And to
like,
be-
think about it.
yeah.
Like, they totally can do it.
To be
right?
fair, 7 allegiances
Yeah.
in one book is the most any book has
Yeah.
ever had. So that's pretty good. Bad Moon Daka giving us shit about drinking small beers, which is good.
Okay, next time I'm getting like those like giant Asahi things that are like 2
Oh
liters
yeah,
each.
the things that they're basically mini kegs.
Yeah.
Just drink a mini keg. Go for it.
Be a regular beer then, right?
Chris Fritz saying that Wanderers have lost too many minis to probably get a book, which I'd agree with.
Oh,
Same
they
with
are now.
Dispossessed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they weren't anymore. I don't necessarily hate it, but we'll see. We'll see where they go. But
I was thinking I wasn't gonna like it. I was like, you know, man,
same.
you know, I don't really want like I never liked the aesthetic of the Free People. It wasn't. It just, Like the models, the rules are cool. I don't like the look of the models, and that's just me. I've always liked the wood elves. I still like dwarves too, so like, you know, I would totally put them in my army. But I think that the fact that I can like mix in all these different things, I can actually essentially make an old wood elf army.
You can
Right,
create
and
the
I love.
army.
That's what got me into the game.
Yeah, and I think that that's also what Cities of Sigmar has given is a huge flexibility for that. And I'm pretty confident that the Walklands book has probably done roughly the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to kind of see what happens
It'll
with
be really
them.
cool, yeah.
I would love for you to be on the right money there as well with a new book with
If you think about it,
it makes sense.
It
No, you're 100%
completely
right.
makes sense.
I
I don't know if you noticed, but one of the battle wizards is the battle wizard of Haish. Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And it says in there, while fighting in the realm of Hish or whatever. I can't pronounce it. But like, there is not a realm of that yet.
So they need
So
to.
what does that
Yeah,
say? Maybe
and
something's
I
coming
think-
around the corner.
Yeah, and I think that it would also be cool because my favorite book that I've read outside of listening to Realm Slayer and the Bone Desert was The Undying King with Nagash, and it introduces you to the human cities of Shaiish.
Yes.
And
They exist, right?
they worship Nagash, and it's like, but they're also more of a free city than a undead city, and they've got to be there. It'd just be awesome to know what it was like, and there are Stormcast keeps in all of the different realms. So I'd like to know what the people that live there like, because there is no way that there is some Stormcast dude who's a baker. You know, like he's an immortal soul brought back, and then it's like, yes, my lord, and there's just a Stormcast in an apron with a hat.
Eat,
who's
right?
like, surely they have to eat. I swear they eat. Doesn't old mate
I thought
Hamlikar
they
eat
didn't-
in Bear Eater? There's a book called Bear Eater.
Yeah, okay.
So obviously he eats something, even if it's just bears.
Maybe it's just he kills bears.
Maybe
I don't
it
know.
could be theoretical. Yeah, that's true. In fact, I doubt that his name is based around physically only eating bears. Yeah, it'd be like because
Walking in a bar.
Hamlikar omnivore doesn't really have as strong a tone to it. Yeah, no, it doesn't really work. So Grail's pointing out the Celestial Hurricanum gets +1 to cast while it's in Azir. And actually, another cool thing, there are no rules for fighting in Azir.
it was a zero. That was I was wrong. It was a zero. That's what I was thinking.
But there are no rules for fighting in Azir either, which I think is really interesting. So in the General's Handbook, because Azir is like Sigmar's Heaven's realm, and nothing Sigmar's Heaven's realm is effectively the mortal realm's version of a chastity belt.
Yes.
No one can touch it except for Sigmar, and it's his belt. He's standing there with this golden belt with a lock on it. but it'd be cool to see like rules for fighting in Azir. So maybe his
isn't there like a big narrative right now where they're fighting over like the realm gates around
Yeah.
there? Like Warcry is that, isn't it?
Yeah, the
all
fight
points
for
or
the all
whatever.
points and stuff like that. Yeah,
so
true.
like maybe they break through, and I thought that the orcs were on the verge of breaking through the gate.
Probably.
There, weren't they? Like,
if
something like
anything
that,
was going to mess it up, it'd be great for it not to be like the.
It was like Gordrak was like on his way to get through there.
Like, or he's just like, no chastity belt stops me. Just like punches his way through because he's so aggressive. Gnome's been saying that it's a little bit disappointing they didn't include a city from like the starter set, like Grim's Watch, which I guess would have been cool. I see where they had to limit it. I think the one thing...
But they might though, right? Like later on.
Options there. What they've said is the framework, right?
Yeah.
The other thing I'd like to see would be a generic list. You know, like in the Kharadron Overlord's battle tome, which no one ever uses because the city rules are so much better.
Yeah.
But there's like the breakdown rules where if you don't choose a city, you can choose the rules for it, and like it's a DIY. It's an IKEA. I would love to see that for cities, where maybe you don't get as many, but you can pick and choose. This is the command trait that you can have, like one of 3 command traits, one of 3 artifacts, one of 3 spells, and kind of like DIY your own city, but it'll always be lesser because it has less options.
I kind of feel it's like Hammer Hall almost.
Yeah, that's
right.
True,
that's kind of like because you're in both realms.
Yeah.
Right.
You can choose which realm you're from for
you
an
have
artifact.
a much larger spell list.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah. Well, then Hello Heart being Phoenix. No, Hello Heart being like, I have a 6 spell lore instead of a regular spell lore. Like,
true.
Jerks.
Yeah.
Sigrel's saying you can see Gordrak smashing into Azir. Lugnut's agreeing that Gordrak made a battering ram out of a god beast skull. So
that's what I thought. Yeah.
If anyone's going to bust it open, it'd probably be him.
With a god beast skull.
Yeah, and I love that it was like the foresight there as well, because most of the time you would say that like an orc with an awesome skull would be like, make it into armor. You know, like make that a hat. But he was like, hey, practical. Battering ram, you know, like he was cunning about it, which is all right. He was cunning, not brutal, or maybe cunning and brutal.
Which can be interesting too, because they have the whole underworld stuff with Beastgrave.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So Beastgrave.
And now they're moving the realm of that one essentially.
That's true.
So they're maybe expanding out to the different realms.
Yeah, and again, like as much as I miss the old world, and I admit I love the books of the old world, I love the lore. None of these fucking conversations happened because it was like, it's Nuln. They're not going to destroy Nuln.
No, of course not.
And then end times came and they were destroying cities, and people were like, holy crap. Like it was basically bracing us for the fact that you can build an army from a city. That doesn't mean it's going to be there forever. So yeah, I'm all about it. Gnome's been saying as a mostly order person, thrilled for Gordrak to punch in the front door out of everyone, which is fair.
It makes sense though, right?
Yeah. Merchant Prince is saying that the greenskin rationale for wanting to break into Azir is just like getting bored with fighting Stormcast. Like and like let's be honest, if Sigmar has any little chambers left, if his house is getting the doors being knocked on, he'll be like, release the Chamber of Poets, you know, like send them at them with their beat poetry and hipster ideals, you know, like that's where they have to go next. So Grail's saying waiting for like a Chaos Undivided book, which again, it's the framework's there now, right? Like we don't see that.
Yeah, well, can you imagine like a Chaos version of the Cities book?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just think of that, right? Like essentially you have like Warcry, which has kind of like given off the different bands, which could lead to being different cities.
Warcry is different realms, and each one worships a different aspect of Chaos and sees Archaon differently. Yeah,
they could totally break that down in there, and then you can ally in like Nurgle units from the land of
Gyran.
Sorry, I'm really bad at pronunciation, so
no,
I always have to like look it up.
I've been mispronouncing Kharadron Overlord since the book was announced,
there you go.
and people keep giving me shit about it, and I'm like, I won't change for anyone.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
but like think about that though, right? Like where you can ally in like 1 in 4 units can be this, so you can 1 in 4 units be demons or whatever, and like. But for the most part, they have to be regular, like Slaves of Darkness.
Yeah,
but
well, like
from
if
whatever,
your
right?
army's from the realm of fire, 1 in 4 units can be from Khorne. 1 in 4 units can be from
And then I really actually do like the idea of how they restrict the realms in the cities books.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. I don't like how anybody right now can pick from any realm to be from.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter. It has no real...
The only bearing that it has on you is what artifacts do I get to choose from the Malign Sorcery book. The only reason to pick a realm for your army isn't for a theme, it isn't for a storyline, unless you're playing narrative. The whole reason to pick it is to be like, I want Gaia Strike, or I want the Ethereal Amulet.
Exactly,
That's the only reason to do it.
You know, even if like they were able to change it so that all endless spells became empowered if you were from that particular realm.
Yeah,
regardless of the army.
Yeah,
right.
Fair,
So,
yeah. And then people would have a reason to pick it. Like at this point in time, you have a reason to pick actually, which apart from Ignax's Scales, no one really picks it. Maybe a Thermal Rider Cloak, but people don't really.
The Flame Helm too, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. But no one picks it because they're like, why the fuck would I bother? This is the thing. So it'll be interesting to see kind of where they go with it. I think I love the book. I love how it's played out.
Yeah.
And like from your theory about future cities or using it, I love the framework that it leaves us because that would be super cool.
Think about it too. So they're trying to push out a book for every army right now.
Yep.
Right? And they're trying to fix whatever was like missing in the past.
Yeah.
Like
and give you an option if you don't play a
I don't know if you
tome.
noticed, but Karaudran Overlords, their battle tome went out of stock in the GW store.
I'm sorry. We're checking this immediately.
Yeah. Somebody posted that in the Facebook group.
Oh my gosh, I've completely missed this. Battle Tome KO is gone. Which what hasn't been a battle tome for over 18 months. The amount of
it's Allegiance of Allegiance, that's it, right? Like,
oh wow, yeah, the battle tome sold out online, which they don't need any new models.
No longer available, not just
right.
out of stock.
It's gone. It's gone. It's done gone. So it's gone in Canada. Where would be the last place that you'd see it? The Netherlands.
Yeah, there you go.
I only say that because I feel like I have no viewers from the Netherlands.
They're gone.
It doesn't even exist in the Netherlands. All
404.
records expunged. Wow. Okay. So the Netherlands has deleted it completely. Denmark? How does Denmark? They usually no, nothing in Denmark.
Italy.
Denmark, Italy. Okay, I
Yeah.
lived in Italy for a few years, so I can say that Italians are lazy. They're usually the last people to get things done. Oh my God, it's gone there as well. If it's gone. If Italia is saying tutti I dati sono stati cancellati dall'archivo, that means that it's we can arguably say that once you hear that from an Italian with terrible
they're even further along than we are.
Like if Italy is before you as a country, and no shade, but I lived there for 3 years. Things happen a lot slower in Italy. Australia is expunged. Okay, Canada, get your act together. Because you can still see the battle tome. However, that battle tome was more FAQ.
It wasn't a battle tome anymore. It's like them and Zinch, right? It's like
you're like, why is my battle tome like?
You're bringing it for like 4 paragraphs. And
it's good to have a hardcover book to transport your models on. Yes, like it's much easier than the Journal's Handbook, but that's about the only reason. Lugnuts is pointing out that he painted his orc. Always a fan of dogs. And basically people then just being really excited about dogs, which to be fair, so am I. When people are just like I feel like if I was ever on a first date and someone was like, I'm a this and I'm a that and I'm a Hilton heir, so I'm worth millions of dollars. And then they were like, also I have a dog. I'd be like, forget the rest of all of your mouth words. I'm only concerned in your fur, baby.
Can I see your dog?
Basically, like we need to stop this and talk about the dog. Anyway, we're just about at the end of the show, so we should start wrapping things up. I always do like to throw in like shameless plugs. D, do you have any shameless plugs you'd like to throw out there?
Oh, shameless plugs. I'm only going to go with Kippers, I think.
Kippers?
I think that if you're on the fence of going to Kippers, you should go to Kippers. It's actually going to be a really good event, I think. Austin, he's got the player package out already. Lists are due on the 18th in case any.
So you only have a couple of weeks?
Yep. So if you're thinking of going to it, I think you should come up. It'll be fun. He's actually using all the realm rules and scenery rules, all that fun stuff, right?
The dogs are coming.
And a lot of the dogs are released. And I think we're getting more and more people showing up to this. And last year was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I think this year will be a lot of fun too.
It's a very alcoholic event with trophies for it, and
Yes.
we'll be streaming it.
The trophies are flasks, by the way.
Oh, so you can drink out of the trophy.
Oh, yeah.
A functional trophy is always important. We'll be streaming it as a part of the biggest Age of Sigmar stream ever done. 10 games over a full weekend between 2 continents. So yeah, I'm keen. The only thing I'm disappointed in is that I can't play in it. But that's okay.
Well, I think too, like we're getting close to be the largest, or this event is almost going to be the largest AOS event in BC.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey.
Because I think the record right now is Wet Coast this year at 38.
Yeah.
And I think this one's at 36.
Okay,
right
so it's a
now.
bee's dick away from getting it. Yes, could get there.
You guys should all sign up and come up to it.
So yeah, it's on
Nanaimo.
Thank you. That one. Hey, beautiful creature. There's a fur baby around my ankles, so you guys have lost me for now. But yeah, it's on an island. Apparently, you can catch a boat there. Thank God, because the last thing I'm doing is getting a fucking death bird there. Oh, you get a pirate pack on the ferry?
Oh yeah.
Fuck yes. I'm going to wear a hat and a feather. I'm going to bring a parrot. This is going to be the best.
Yeah.
But we do always finish the show with one thing, and that is to ask the hard questions. So we've got to ask the hard questions because no one else is going to do it. This is the only show that's asking them. And the answer is this, is which city do you think has the strongest nightlife in all of the mortal realms? Because it's yeah, and like I'm talking everything. Like we're talking bars, nightclubs, cocktails, casinos, all of it together. And this goes to the chat as well. Okay. Which of the mortal realm cities? And if you want to compare it to your city, like a city in the real world, just to give it some context, maybe that's a good way to go. But yeah,
I am gonna go purely with the Living City because I'm gonna say that
you are biased.
I am. I'm a little biased.
Okay, yeah,
a little biased.
Good.
But to be fair, the Living City implies that they're always growing. They're always doing something. They're always going, right?
Okay, yeah.
And it sounds like it would almost be like kind of like a clean Las Vegas.
A clean Las Vegas.
I wouldn't say they're not
Yeah.
dirty. Like if you want to go to Las Vegas in the cities, it'll probably be Anvilgard.
Yeah,
it would be like because it's all like the pirates and the underground.
Anvilgard is filthy.
Yeah.
Anvilgard is Sydney. You go out and you have a good night, but you come back and you're like, I have no money, and I don't know if I was robbed or the prices were just so expensive.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
Whereas
and the nightlife is not really like I don't think you would know. Like if you're a regular person, you would not know about it unless you're but if you're a little bit shady, you would know about
I see that. I would say the Living City is a little bit more hipster. Right?
Exactly.
There's a lot more places where like there's no line, but you have to knock on the door, and then they're like password. It's much more intense like that. You need to be on a very specific.
I would say it's like cedar.
See, my argument would be grey water fastness, only because. So in Australia, we have a number of mining towns that are like cities, and because the majority of the money in Australia that we make comes from like primary materials, from like mines and things, like Kalgoorlie it's a great city to see. Tons of pubs, nightclubs, and places for other types of entertainment because of the sheer disposable amount of income that people have. And I feel like Greywater Fastness has a lot of labourers.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people that work a 9 to 5, building cannons, making fire, and they need to blow off steam somehow because they've been doing it all day at work. But so they need to go out, and so I'm going to say Greywater Fastness for that reason.
No, I can see that too.
Yeah, right. Like that.
You see that artwork, by the way?
Which one?
With the humans with the cannons next to it.
Yeah.
It's like the size of it.
Yeah, you're just like, holy shit.
Sorry, I just had to...
There is no, but but again, there's a number of stuff like that where you're just like, that's super cool. Yeah. There is no way that works. Like you physically, like, come on. There's what's loading that.
Exactly.
So a couple of people saying guard.
Oh yeah.
For Merchant Prince and Sir Grail. Yeah. There's
100%.
You don't have everything. You start the night with more than you end the night with. Both.
Sometimes it's worth a kidney.
You're right. Yeah, you're just like, I met a sorceress. She beat up like 20 dudes. It was great. Vanilla Sass is just saying Iron Jaws, like just an Iron Jaws city, because everyone's fighting, so it's basically Manchester, which is fair. They're all on Stella and they're punching each other. A lot of people saying Anvil Guard. Batman Duck are just saying Slanesh would throw a killer party, and given that Anvil Guard is mostly Dark Elves, that seems about right. Gnomesbane saying Hammer Hall is LA, the Living City is New Orleans, and Anvil Guard is Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can agree with that one.
Yeah, okay,
100%,
cool.
yep.
I'm aligned with that. That makes sense. Hammer Hall has a dark underbelly, but puts out that gleaming gold thing. Oh, hey, you're beautiful. Hello. Oh my gosh, your nose is so wet. That was a really slobbery kiss. But yeah, Bad Moon Dak is saying a Fire Slayer city would be kind of cool.
Everybody be naked.
Actually, yeah, it's true. It's effectively Vegas. Man, every Fire Slayer city is Vegas because no one's wearing any pants. Whether they aren't wearing them by choice or they lost them.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyone's guess. Merchant Prince is saying that he's going to convert one of the cannons from like the Iron Blaster, the Ogre Moor tribes. Like huge cannon. Yeah, that'd be about right.
That's awesome.
You show me how some Hume can lift the cannonball that goes in there. Yeah.
What was that one? There's a castle in Scotland, the Stirling Castle.
Ugh.
Actually, that has that the wolf. Oh, I can't remember the name of it now. Something wolf.
The gigantic
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a trebuchet at first, and then turned into a giant cannon or whatever it was. Yeah.
And you're like, it fucks up a small thing really good.
Yep.
If the Mythbusters can fire a cannonball that busts through half a suburb,
Fair enough, right?
You're just like that thing messes up both the army and then its friends behind it that are coming back 2 years later. But okay, so effectively we you're a fan of the Living City.
Yeah.
But
I'm actually sorry. It was Gnomesbane that said that, right? Yeah. I actually totally agree with everything you said.
Gnomesbane, I think hammer on the head.
That's right there.
Hammer Hall is LA. The Living City is New Orleans. It's got a great nightlife, but it's distinctly it. But Anvil Guard is filthy,
You can have a good time there, and if you're not careful, you're gonna die.
Yeah, and like we were saying about the LVO, if you want something, you can pay for it and get it.
Exactly. Yes.
That's Anvil Guard, right?
Yeah.
So that
100%.
Yeah, I like it. That's where you know what, and I can think of no better thing to finish on. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, everyone that's joined us. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no,
thank you
thanks for having me on.
The first time that we've done a live one since I've been over here, which has been nice, actually having a human being instead of talking to screens and things like that.
Well, I've never been on a live stream.
Yeah, well there you go. Yeah, we're super live now. If you are thinking about coming to Kippers, drop us a line, let us know. That'd be awesome. And again, send nudes as well, any way you want to get them to me, and we'll put them on for assessment. Today's one did rather well. But yeah, cheers, thank you very much. And we'll either see you at the LVO or Kippers if not. See you later.
Good night.
Cheers.